How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Hicks Auto channel. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. But we are back for day 2, working on this 2001 Honda Accord. We're replacing the heater coil on this vehicle. And I'm just coming back after the break and just looking at how intimidating this job can look. A lot of disconnecting wires. It is a lot to it, and we still have more to take off. We need to take off this bracket here that runs across the heater box, the HVAC box, to be able to get it out. So I think that's what we're going to work on today. I would like to get it out today, so that's what I think I'm going to focus on. But I think we'll be able to knock it out within a few hours, if that. So let's get started. All right, sorry guys, it's a little bit louder in here. I got my shop heat on. Really cold outside. I think it's like 32 degrees outside. So I'm gonna try to keep it as warm as possible in here while I'm working. So sorry about the noise. Hopefully you can still hear me. But like I said, we're gonna take off this bracket here that runs all the way across, and we're gonna do it in, I believe, 2 stages. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I disconnected, which was these wires here on the back side of the fuse panel here, and this is on the passenger side. So all of these connectors should be hanging off to the side here. All right, if you come on in, some of these wires are already disconnected from you taking off the dashboard, but you can see your big bundle here. We're gonna follow that because that's still connected to this bracket up here. So if we follow that, we disconnected this wire here. It runs to this relay, okay? We're gonna keep our fuse box still mounted to the bracket, okay? So anything connected up on this side is okay to stay there, okay? And if we follow it back down, we have our wire for our blend door actuator back there. We had to disconnect that, so that comes with it, comes off of the box and comes with the bracket. If you follow it down a little bit more, it's running underneath to your blower motor wiring. And let me grab a light. All right, and you can see, let me get my light in the right spot for you. All right, so if we look up under this box here, we have the wiring coming in here. This tab here needs to come off of the blower, the HVAC box. It wraps around and connects up here. You need to disconnect that connector. That's the blower motor connector. Disconnect that. And you can see here it has a zip tie connecting it to another wire that runs all the way back here to your blower motor resistor. Okay, so make sure you disconnect that wiring. And in order to get this off of here, you're gonna have to pull this connector out here. Pull this clip out here and let this wiring hang down so you can pull this loom through. Okay, once you pull that loom through, everything should be free to your wiring bundle here. Everything should be loose all the way down below. All right, and that's what we want. All right, this one here you don't have to worry about, because as you can see, it's still connected to the box down there. We're not removing the box just yet, so you can keep that connected. All right, and then we're going to continue to follow this bundle all the way around. You can see you have a clip there, which we're not going to remove. It wraps around, comes over top, has another clip back there, comes over, runs across, splices off, comes down, and as we look at this wire here, this wire should be pretty much disconnected and just dangling. All right, so that's going to come off with the whole bracket. We're going to continue to follow that on, and it runs all the way across. So we'll go over to the other side and see what needs to be disconnected on that side. But so far so good. This whole wiring loom is coming off when we pull the bracket off, and that's what we want. Now when we get here, and while I said we're going to do it in 2 stages, is because we need to pull this bracket off here. This bracket is separate from this bracket. So I've highlighted my bolts that we need to take off. You can see one there. All right, we got a Phillips head there. Come on within the inside. You got two up top there. Same on the other side. Come on around. And you got one down below there. All right, that backside one. I'm sorry, the front one here. All right, once we take out those, we can pull this bracket completely out. All right, and I think that's what we're gonna do first. And what I did to kind of aid us on, get us a little further on, is you can see that my airbag wiring is running across here. I try to remember what my routing is of my wiring. So if you see here, if your wiring is still connected here, make sure you pull your clips off of this bracket, and it runs across here behind the bracket. All right, comes on around, comes up. We got two clips up there that we're gonna break free, and then that connector that's hanging, the yellow one, well, actually both of them. This one should be already connected here because it's coming from the steering column. All right, but you got that one there that's connected in the fuse box over here. So just make sure you disconnect that. We're gonna pull these two tabs up here, and then before we pull this bracket out, or while we're pulling this bracket out, we're gonna make sure our wiring is free of the bracket. Make sure it don't get hung up, and we'll pull this bracket free. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, we got our 12 millimeter and our Phillips head here. So we can take out our screw here and then take out our remaining 12 millimeter bolts. So I think what I'm gonna do first is break these free, and then we kind of move forward. It's gonna break them free, and then we'll use something on them. Yeah. All right. Got our Phillips head out. Then we're just gonna take our Milwaukee and zip out the rest of these bolts. Matter of fact, I got one more to break free on that side. So let's go over there and break that free. Really, the only thing about this job that worries me is having this steering wheel down here. I kind of hate dealing with clock springs and airbags. But no worries. As long as we leave it alone, it'll leave us alone. So let's get these 12s out of here. We got our wiring down, and we're just gonna feed it through as we pull our bracket out. Just gonna take our time. Watch your wiring. Gonna feed this back down. And there our bracket is, free. Alright, so if I come over to the other side, we're gonna take that 12 millimeter out down there on that bracket, Make sure we take that off. Come on around. We have 2 more up top there. You can see that are highlighted, as well as on the other side. All right, so that's 4 there. Okay, you got 1 way in the back there. You can see I highlighted it, all 12 millimeters. Okay, and also while we're on this side, if we look up top again, you can see our wiring bundle coming down. All right, it's coming down, and we just want to make sure, because our fuse box is staying connected to our bracket, so we just want to make sure that it's staying with our fuse box and not going off into the firewall, which I think we're good. Let me get my light somewhere where we can see. All right, so these wires here are going to the firewall and disconnected from the fuse box. All right, this wire here is connected to my fuse box, so it'll come with my panel. All of this here is still connected to my bundle. All right, so I think actually all of our wiring is free. This whole bundle here is still attached to the fuse box only. Any wiring running from the firewall is disconnected already. And you can see on this side, every connector on the fuse box is disconnected. Just the same as the other side. We want all of them to hang to the side, okay? All for the bracket. All right, so, and then we have our 3 bolts here, which are covered up here. Take those caps off and you'll be able to access the 3 bolts here. You got 2 up top and 1 down below. All right, so not too many bolts to get this bracket off. Yeah. All right, we're working our way around. Got Phillips head off. All right, so I'm sorry, correction. It is 4 bolts on this side of the bracket, okay? So it's 4. I thought it was just 3. It's 2 up top, 2 down below. So I'm gonna take off this last cap here. All right, and I also noticed these 4 bolts on this side are longer than the rest, okay? But this one here, I'm assuming is your alignment pin, okay? You can see that it's a little bit thicker at the end of it, okay? So I would probably put this one in first, going back in, and then put your other 3 in, all right? All right, let's see if we can break our bracket free. Oh yeah, it's nice and free now, so let's sit in the seat and see if we can handle it that way. Alrighty, taking care of business every day, taking care of business, yeah. All right, so let's get this thing completely out of here without smashing a window or stepping on any of our wiring. And there it is. All right, now with that bracket out, you can see what's left is our wiring here. All right, so all of our wiring that was on the side, also this wiring here that was coming up behind the bracket, that's still there. Come on over to the other side. Those are the wires I was messing with behind the fuse box. These wires are going up into the firewall, so we're good with those. And then also the other wires that was on this side of the frame or side of the bracket. So those should be the only wires that you have to worry about disconnecting from that bracket to get it out. Now that we have it out, we can focus on getting our evaporator core out, and then we can go ahead and pull out our heater core box. But we got to get this box out first, and then we can pull this box out. But before we do that, we have to go underneath the hood, disconnect our heater control valve, heater hoses, and a couple bolts that mounts up to this bracket throughout the firewall or through the firewall. So let's go ahead and take care of that real quick, and then we should be able to slide it right on out. And then the only other thing is to make sure you go down and discharge your AC system. Make sure you have your AC system properly discharged. And then you can disconnect your high pressure and low pressure side of the evaporator core, okay? Have those lines disconnected, and then you'll go back in the inside and pull out the evaporator core box first, and then we'll pull out the heater core box, all right? Make sure you disconnect your wiring down here for your heater control valve. You just pull it off of this tab here, pull it up. And I actually sprayed it down with some PB Blast, just kind of so it'll slide off there a lot easier. And then it clamps down or locks down underneath this tab here. So just pop the tab up and lift it over, and you'll be able to pull this cable clean out, all right? Now, as you're pulling the box out, make sure you watch this cable also going through the firewall. Be careful of that. So, all right, but let's keep it moving. All right, sorry. So I took my other light back in the inside. I think we're ready to go ahead and pull those boxes out. But first, I want to come back here and show you that I did get my AC lines disconnected. And what I did was I stuffed some paper towels in the evaporator core. But then I also put some gloves with some zip ties on the end of the lines, okay? So definitely want to make sure those lines or the evaporator core doesn't get contaminated. Also, we took off our bolt down here for our box. All right, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me move my light a little bit. Right there you go. All right, so we took that bolt off there. I think that's the only bolt that actually is holding the box to the firewall in the inside. But I guess we'll find out when we go to yank it out. Also, the boots, the little black rubber boots, they go over the heater core hoses. I went ahead and pushed those through the firewall. Now I got my brother here with me now, and I was telling him I'm not sure how that's gonna go, pushing the box back through the firewall. I think what I should do is take the rubber boots off of the heater core line and put it back on the firewall, and then when I go to put my box back up, just have to make sure that they go straight through the boots. I think if I keep the boot on there on the heater core and slide the box back on, it'll be kind of hard to pull the boot back over and make sure it's sealed properly. So we'll see how that goes going back in. But let's jump in the inside and get ready to take these boxes out. We got one bolt here. We got two here. We go underneath. Let's see. We got one here behind your wiring. All right, we got one there. Come around. We got this one here, and we got one here. So in total, I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So let's get these 5 bolts out and see if we can slide this unit off. Let's see. Oh, lovely. Lovely. So this is our evaporator core. You can see it in the inside. Our lines that was feeding through the firewall. You can see that our insulation also came out with it. I was thinking that was going to stay in the firewall, but it actually came out with it, which is perfect. Now I know feeding this back in would be a lot easier, okay? Also, our installation here looks really good. I mean, this is a 2001, but the installation here looks good. So should be a breeze going back in. Also, sometimes during the summertime, you'll hear that swishing sound behind your dashboard. This line here that sticks through the firewall as well. This is your drain hole for your evaporator core. And during the summertime, when you have that AC on, this whole unit right here gets really, really cold. So it'll leak the moisture down at the bottom of this tank here, and it'll drain out this hose. But if this hose here gets clogged with any kind of debris, leaves, anything, it won't drain. So it'll fill up this box. So when you turn in the corner, you're gonna hear that swishing sound, okay? All you had to do, have a mechanic come by or your husband or whoever and take some air and spray this hose here, just spray this line here. And water will flow out here and drain this box, and you won't hear that swishing sound anymore, okay? So, like I said, if you hear that swishing sound behind your dash, especially during the summertime when you're running the AC a lot, spray this hose out here with some compressed air, move that debris, and you'll see water start to flow. I mean, it comes out because this box is so full, okay? And that'll get rid of that swishing sound. Okay, so we got our lines clogged, and as I was clogging the lines, I also noticed like meters clogging the lines was moving the box. So it feels pretty free. Let's see what we got, see if we can go ahead and pull it out here. I don't want to block the light too much. I want to put you in a good spot. All right, so we're wiggling it free. I got my brother watching one side and I'm watching this side. We're just gonna keep wiggling, making sure it's nice and free. How it look on your side, brother?
Looking good, boy. That last bolt on the bottom.
Huh?
It's the last bolt on the bottom is on the back. So look on that side. It's got some resistance on that side.
Yeah, and I think it's because of my rubber boots. There we go. All right, let's come on through. There we go. And, oh, our cable. We need our cable here. I'll pour that through. And voila. Our heater core box is out. No drippage on the other side. Everything's nice and dry underneath. And that's what we wanted. All right. Finally. Let's get this unit out, set it on the counter, and get this heater core replaced. All right, we got our heater core. We laid it down on a nice, lovely rug here. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're gonna pull out our heater core, and it looks like it's pretty simple to do. You got a bracket there that's held on with a Phillips head screw, and then you got another bracket that's already on the heater core itself with a Phillips head. And if I pull out the new heater core, you can see what I mean. That bracket is already there. So it's just the Phillips head holding it in. And then we're just gonna remove this bracket here, pull this off, and hopefully just slide this unit out. Now, once we slide this unit out, we wanna make sure it's clean of any kind of debris inside the box before we slide in our new unit. Another thing to take note of is you see our installation here on our old unit. Our new unit already comes with it on it. So we don't have to worry about wrapping the insulation around it. It's already on. So like I said, we're gonna remove these two Phillips, pull the unit out, clean the box out thoroughly, and then slide in our new unit. okay? And then we should be pretty much ready to go back in. The only thing that we need to address going back in is our grommets within the firewall, okay? But I'll show you what we're gonna do with those before we proceed, all right? All right, I just finished pushing my heater coil in, my new heater coil into the unit here, and I noticed my aftermarket heater coil, the bracket down here, doesn't actually line up with the hole. I don't think it's a big deal because I still can put my bracket on up top. So I think that's what I do is just put my bracket on up top and not put anything in down here, because what I don't want to do is put something down here and come through the box. I don't think it's really going anywhere. Once it goes through the firewall, it's going to be set in one place, not like it's going to jump out. So if you run into that issue, once you slide in your new heater coil where this bracket doesn't actually line up with the hole, with the mounting hole, then I would say, as long as you can get this one on up here, that'll be great. You know, put that one in right here. As long as that lines up there, you'll be just fine, okay? But other than that, everything was pretty simple. Take out the old heater coil, blow the box out, slide your new one in, put your bracket back on up top, and start back with installation. All right, we got our new heater coil in. Oh, this is my twin brother here. Say what's up, John.
What's up, how y'all doing?
Yeah, he came by today. What a surprise, man. Came by today to give me a hand. Wasn't expecting it at all. So, hey, man, it's a good day. Got the heater coil out, about to put it back in. Got my brother hand. So, hey, man, that's a blessed day for me, man. But anyway, we got our new heater coil unit in. All right, so we're getting ready to put the box back up. And what I went ahead and did was I stuck my grommets back through the firewall. So my grommets are locked in the firewall. And then what I went ahead and did was put some lube or some grease here, lubed everything up really good. And also on the tips here of the heater coil pipes, so it can slide right through. I don't want it to slide through and catch these boots here or cut the seal on this. I want it to be a nice, clean installation. That's the goal. So let's get this thing back up, get it bolted back up. And remember, it was only 2 bolts up top. And then now that I can see now, the bolt that we took off in the inside, which was that 12 millimeter underneath the hood, slides in right there. So it's actually 3 bolts holding it in. One here, and then one here, all right? Kind of like a V if you want to look at it that way, all right? But we're going to get this unit back installed. And like I said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to install this first, install our lever for our heater control valve. Slide that in first, make sure that's securely through, and then focus on lining our pipes up with our grommets, all right? Okay, so we already installed our heater coil box and getting ready to go back in with our evaporator coil box. But just looking inside of here, you can see how bad it looks, that cabin air filter, along with all of the leaves and debris in there. So before this unit needs to go back, before this unit goes back in, we definitely want to go ahead and replace this cabin air filter, along with blowing out all the leaves and stuff we see in here. Easy way to access it is it has a tab underneath here, which is there. You just pull up on it like that and sit the unit back down and just lift up. It comes hanging off to the top here. See, it just hooks up there and just clamps on to here. And look at that. It's been in here for a while. Let's pull this out. Oh my goodness. And just look down inside there. Oh my goodness. So let's get this cleaned up, get these filters changed, and then we can put this unit back up. But I think the AC is going to be the AC system is going to be a lot more happier once we clean this up, especially that evaporator core. So, hey, Double check this on your units, guys, before you install this evaporated core box back up, okay? Once again, thank you guys for watching the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, also comment, share, and also click that bell up top for notifications.